looking at even more cards that have been revealed for Festival of Legends. These ones are pretty interesting. Some of them I'm kind of excited for. Potentially, some of these actually could be leading to kind of class identities. Let's take a look at these. The first one is only one of its class, so it's a mage legendary spell, and that is Infinitize the Maxitude. Difficult name to say, but it is the legendary spell for mage, 2 mana, discover a spell, finale, return this to your hand at end of turn. I did mention early on with the initial reveal, they showed some finale, like a neutral minion that had that finale and a discover effect as well with it. And my kind of concern with that, not necessarily concern, but the downside is that oftentimes you want to do your discover effects or your draw effects early in the turn to see if what you find or you draw is going to be a better play for your turn. So doing that and trying to play this card last and have your discover effect essentially last in your turn feels very, very counterintuitive, and either means, one, that this card will be terrible and cards like that will just not be very good or won't be played very much in Standard, or it means that people will start playing differently. And I'm kind of really interested to see how these work, because if you do want this effect, the effect that it kind of reminds me of, at least currently, is a little bit of that Svalna shadow spell. The upside to that one for Sister Svalna is that it goes back to your hand after you use it, not just at the end of the turn. So you get more value from that, but oftentimes with that deck, it's more about just getting that repetitive discover effect and not as much of the waiting to see what you find and then doing something. You just play it anyways. Oftentimes I've even seen players just play that spell multiple times and then not even play any of the discovered stuff that turn. So there could be uses for this, absolutely. It's only 2 mana, so feels like it could be pretty easy to fit into the end of a turn, just like you would a hero power. I definitely could see people playing this one. And, maybe if you don't care about getting this, or you could play this on turn 2, and that technically would be your finale, and you wouldn't get to play that discovered thing anyways. So there could be an option of playing it on curve. Maybe on turn 4 you do a hero power and then this, and you wouldn't really be, having enough mana to play a discovered spell regardless. So I do actually think that the finale keyword is going to be a little bit better with these discovers, even though you're discovering essentially at the end of your turn instead of early on. Now we have some Demon Hunter cards. Baby Bear did a reveal. Jambry joined her, of course, but Baby Bear's channel, I'll link it below. It's a fantastic, hilarious reveal video, so check that out. But let's take a look at this kind of almost identity of Rush minions and Rush mechanic. We have Security, a 2 mana spell. Summon 2/1/1 Illidari with Rush. Outcast, summon 1 more. This seems like a decently solid card. The fact that these have Rush is probably a big upside. We've seen with Demon Hunter that they sometimes get spells that summon minions and they don't have Rush. Those never saw play in Standard. They just weren't impactful enough. You need things that impact the board immediately for them to generally see more play. With these having Rush, it does seem pretty good. The Outcast, I'm so hesitant on Outcast. It just really hasn't felt like a great mechanic for the most part. It really feels like Outcast needs a better payoff. The Outcast cards that we've seen be really utilized in Standard have been like the healing effects that deal damage and then heal you in the past, but a lot of the other Outcast stuff just really hasn't seen much competitive play in Standard. I think maybe just the payoff of 2/1/1 rushers could be enough to get you good value. Then we have Snakebite, a 2 mana 1/1 Naga with Rush. Battlecry, gain +1/+1 for each minion that died this turn. It's a Battlecry effect, so you would want to kill off your other minions first and then play this, but with some little 1/1 rushers, this could be pretty impactful. This could actually get some decent stats, and it has Rush as well, so you're definitely getting an impact immediately. It's only 2 mana, so probably going to be able to play it fairly easily. Honestly, even if you play this on like turn 4 or something, play Security and then this, you kill off and you get a 3/3, maybe a 4/4 Rusher. That seems pretty decent. Then we have one of the big payoff cards, I think, and one of the cards that I definitely can see this being utilized even more so than the other things, is Rush the Stage. It's a 3 mana spell. Draw 2 Rush minions. They cost 1 less. There's been some other cards that have been used in Standard and other classes that were very similar to this. Draw 2 specific things, draw 2 minions for 3 mana, and those have been almost staples of those. Rogue with getting to spend 3, drawing 2 minions, and then if you played them that turn, they got stealth. You have the Switcheroo in Priest, 3 mana, draw 2 minions, you switch their health. Like, those saw a lot of play. This seems comparable to me, and costing less, plus their Rush minions that are going to impact the board. It's not just minions, it's specifically Rush minions. Seems fantastic. And then we have the legendary Halvaria Dark Raven. It's a 4 mana 4/3 Rush minion. After a friendly Rush minion attacks, give your minions +1 attack. That could be really powerful, especially if you're getting to draw this and it's discounted. You can probably fit in quite a bit of minions in one turn. This does require the minions that attack to specifically be Rush minions, so it's not quite as good as some of the other effects that we've seen that just when a minion attacks, or if a minion survives damage, you get some stats. And this doesn't add health either. So this is specifically attack that's only with your Rush minions. It's going to require a bit of setup. I think this can be pretty powerful, but it does require probably multiple cards and a setup for it. Yes, there's a little video. You can see that in Baby Bear's video from Blizzard that kind of showcases and highlights this really, really well. But to me, that feels like a really like top case scenario. And I don't know how consistently you'll be able to do a turn like that. That's always kind of the downside to things like this, is it seems like it could be huge and it could be a lot of impact. It's a legendary, so there's only one. You do have to draw it. It requires other things. And to me, the biggest drawback is that it's only attack and it doesn't also give the minions health. Now we're going to switch over to Paladin, and again, almost feeling like a potentially class identity with a bunch of Divine Shield synergy. Now, I'm going to talk about Starlight Groove first. I believe this had actually been revealed a bit earlier in this reveal cycle, but I don't know if I've actually talked about it on this YouTube channel, so wanted to highlight it here. It is a 3 mana legendary holy spell. This is the legendary spell for Paladin. It's give your hero Divine Shield. For the rest of the game, playing a holy spell refreshes it. This seems very, very impactful. Again, it's a legendary. You're only going to have one, so you have to draw it and then play it to get that effect. If you don't draw it, you're not going to be getting that effect. But it is a holy spell itself, which I think is fantastic. And this is the first time we're seeing something like giving your hero Divine Shield instead of just minions. And that's incredibly important for these next cards. We have Spotlight, a 2 mana tradable, I love this tradable effect, tradable holy spell. Convert a friendly Divine Shield into a 5/5 elemental. And now we're going to start seeing, because of that ability to give your hero that Divine Shield, we're going to start seeing a lot of the phrasing on these cards with being friendly Divine Shield or a friendly character instead of just minion or friendly minion. So that's very important. But converting a friendly Divine Shield into a 5/5 elemental seems super great. This is also tradable, so you can pick when this happens. I really want to see the combination if you have already played that Starlight Groove and you maybe only have your hero as a Divine Shield. If you play this, I kind of feel like it would take the Divine Shield, turn it into a 5/5, and then you would get that Starlight Groove effect, and your hero would then get another Divine Shield because this Spotlight is a holy spell. If that's how it works, that combination could be very huge. This is not a repeatable effect. It's not like going to go back to your hand or anything like that, like we saw with Maki Roll or anything. So you are limited to how many of these you have, but that's still pretty solid. And if you don't need it, you don't have Divine Shield stuff, it's got the tradable. So just trade it off, get something else in your hand. Then we have the best Murloc, Funkfin. I love the artwork here. 3 mana 2/2 Murloc with Divine Shield, and your minions with Divine Shield have +2 attack. This seems pretty neat. You do kind of have to pay, I guess, that extra mana for this Divine Shield. Ideally, if you're paying 3 for a minion, you probably want like 3/3 worth of stats, or a 4/3 or 3/4. This is only a 2/2, but you do get Divine Shield, and there's another upside if you have other Divine Shield minions. Now, this one does specify your minions with Divine Shield have +2 attack, so this isn't going to work with giving your hero added attack. So that's why I did want to specify that the wording on these cards now, because of that, is really important. Before, it was just kind of a given, but now it's important to differentiate. So this is only minions, but depending on how you build the deck, you can play 2 Funkfins. There can definitely be those Divine Shield synergies. And honestly, with the Murloc tag, I'm kind of looking at this in something like a Menagerie Paladin. Pretty decent. I'm really excited about this Divine Shield mechanic. And then lastly, we have Jitterbug. It's amazing. I love all of these musical references. It's a 4 mana 4/3 beast with Divine Shield. And after a friendly character loses Divine Shield, draw a card. So this one specifies that friendly character, so this could be if your hero loses that Divine Shield, you will get that effect. To get that effect, you will have to have Jitterbug on the board and then something lose Divine Shield, but I think, honestly, even if you can get this effect once and get 1 additional card draw off of it, it's not terrible. Also, again, this has Divine Shield on its own. You should likely at least get the effect once. If this minion itself loses that Divine Shield, you should get that card draw. So, seems pretty effective. I like the stats on it, and it's a beast, so it has that tag. So, again, this could be used in something like a Menagerie Paladin. Definitely really intrigued with these, and this is the kind of, like this and like Dragon Paladin are my favorite type of Paladin decks to play. Those really just tempo, get on board, beat them down type of Paladin decks are some of my favorite to play. So, I am very excited for these. Oh, what do you think of these cards, and how excited are you to be theory crafting with some of these? Let me know down below in the comments. If we can hit that 1,000 subscribers before the end of March 29th, I'll be giving away a mega bundle. So please, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, share this with people, post about it so that people can also subscribe and check these videos out. Also, giving thumbs up to these videos really does help spread it to other people, which will get more people in here to check these out, and also hopefully increase that subscriber so we can do a giveaway. And also check out information for the theory crafting videos and how to submit a deck so that you can maybe be featured in one of these videos coming up for theory crafting for each class and have a chance at winning a Tavern Pass reward track for Festival of Legends. Check this video out next, where I chatted about some of the previously revealed cards. Thank you so much for checking this out, and I'll see you in the next one.